don't feel like you belong. So, you know, I've tried a couple of things in the past. Didn't look all that believable per se. You know, there are some things that a lot of Atlanta beauticians and barbers are pretty good at as far as the units and things of that nature, but I don't think I was comfortable getting that done every week, every other week. I ended up going back to covering myself up with a lot of hats and anything I can get my hands on in order to make myself somewhat look fashionable, but at the same time cover myself up. So, you know, every now and again I found myself trying to see what was new in the industry, if there was any developments in hair growth, if there was anything that was more believable than the units that, you know, I've seen other barbers do, and I hadn't quite seen it as of yet, but for some reason I landed across Jonathan Gerow's website. Maybe it was just some pictures at the time, and I started, you know, looking further and further into his work, and I was like, wow, this guy's pretty good. I mean, in the past I do recall myself specifically for a photo shoot where I had a makeup artist kind of give me a shadow up top. So, you know, I got the pictures developed and it looked pretty nice. And I was like, okay, this whole little shadow thing may work. And then when I saw Jonathan's work, I'm like, okay, that's kind of the shadow illusion that that probably would work all the way around and give me some type of comfort. So I looked at a lot of his videos. You know, some of them were pretty detailed. He was basically taking the world by storm. He had been on a couple of different news outlets. He was pretty much being shared by a couple of different rap artists, and I thought that pretty much this was taking off. This was becoming the new it thing. And I just knew that right off of that I definitely have to get myself signed up, and that's what brought me in here today. So I look in the mirror now and this is just a first treatment, and there's 2, sometimes even 3 for some, but as for me, you know, this is my first time, you know, getting my treatment done. And it hasn't really set in yet, you know. When I get into my zone or I'm by myself and I start feeling myself a little bit more, I start seeing how, okay, maybe if I just looked over my shoulder or wore something different, or even if I just kind of cleaned up my facial hair, you know, I'll start to notice a little bit more. I'll probably start to see myself where I left off when I first started losing my hair. And I'm sure I would start feeling a whole lot better. Right now, it hasn't really set in. I see what I see in the mirror, but I don't know, maybe I'm just dreaming right now. But definitely when I wake up and I look in the mirror, I do intend to see a whole lot different. And it's funny because my life almost got to a point where I didn't want to look in the mirror anymore. I would bypass mirrors a lot, you know, just afraid of what I was going to see. And so now I'm ready. I'm ready to see myself. I'm ready to face myself. I'm ready to take on the world. And so I owe a lot of that to Jonathan Gerow.